Boy, I'm excited about this one as we are live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about with a man that always has something to say, a man that is definitely a lightning rod. And boy, he is going to have plenty to say about what's on his shoulder right now. We'll get into that. We'll also get into Baltimore, where he's going. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll also talk about now that he's a leader of the free world. Boy, I hope as a leader of the free world, maybe he can direct this snowstorm. It's supposed to hit like 3/4 of the country, to the side. And we'll get into some other things. Plus, I am sure your comments, where you want to see this man next, and who knows whatever else. But I know it has been many months since this man has last been on Sportswire Radio, and I must give him that introduction on YouTube, after all, because we are on YouTube, and there is no better way than to have a man that is a YouTube champion get that introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this weekend off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one Smart Joe, a man that is certainly going to keep us rocking in the free world. He's the reigning, defending BTW YouTube champion. His name is simply put the leader of the free world. Chase Wakefield, the YouTube champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
Oh man, of course, an amazing intro as usual, and I'm doing great. And as you can see here, I have a bit of hardware on my shoulder, which is a bit different from the last time we talked.
Actually, it's different from every appearance, pretty much since the
Yeah,
early beginning. I think when maybe your first episode, you were, I think, still a champion in DBW.
I
Maybe
think so.
I think you
Yeah.
were still a champion in DBW. That goes back like 2.5 years almost. Now it has been a minute since you have held championship gold, and it is about freaking time. And let's go right into it, because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the leader of the free world, Chase Wakefield, the platform you most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio. Get some names that many people know in the free world. Talk to me about what it means to you now to be the reigning, defending VTW YouTube champion.
Well, I think most importantly, the number one thing is hard work and dedication. This has been a 10 plus year journey where I've never actually won a championship outside of my home territory of DBW.
Yes.
And you could almost say VTW is like another home to me. but I've always had instances of being oh so close to being a champion elsewhere, and I've always had all these thoughts of maybe I can't hang with all these other people and be someone that can win outside of my home territory. And I think I proved that doubt very wrong. And I think I'm very grateful and I'm super excited to see uh where this road leads me to as the YouTube champion for VTW. And there was so many other great champions in VTW, guys like Asher Christ and
Yep.
Jacob Ryan, and being in that same podium and that in the same name as the rest of those guys, it's very great. And I'm just excited overall, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I think to have won a championship also in a company that has such a following, such a history. I mean, yes, you've won gold in DBW, and that's obviously a great company we've done a lot with over the years. But I think what means, I think, even more is that you didn't just win it in any company, you won it in VTW, one of the biggest anywhere out there.
Yes, and VTW, the amount of people that have been in VTW in the past and have never won a championship for VTW, the list is on and on. We could talk about the best in the yard eras, and we could talk about all the special guests, but none of them had been champion. And I'm very honored to be a part of that small selection of people that could be a champion in VTW.
So I gotta ask you then, and we'll put the match footage up here, and we wanted to put the photo of you actually holding the title first. But what would be your goals as VTW YouTube champion here coming up in 2026?
That man, I pondered about this for a good bit ever since I actually won the championship. What what do I make of this run I'm gonna do? And
Sure.
as if people have watched BTW before, Chase Wakefield in BTW is a very wild and unexpected character. And I think my goal is just to make this the most memorable run that VTW has to offer, whether it be the things I say and the things I do. I'm just going to make sure everyone remembers this specific title reign more than any other title reign in the company.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great point. And obviously, you took the title from the incumbent who has been here in the past, Mr. Nicky Chooch, and there you are. And I mean, what's going through your mind here in this match, which leads you to winning that YouTube championship?
Um, First of all, when I arrived down there, it was actually for it being like November, December, it was warm as hell down there. And that kind of threw me off being up here in Pennsylvania where it's always like 20 degrees around this time. It was a nice 70 degrees. It just all felt right for that. And I couldn't lose focus of what was ahead. I won against Tyler Aiken and what was supposed to be a world championship opportunity. Ecstatic couldn't make it due to a lot of personal reasons.
Sure, sure, I understand.
But I made sure to take every opportunity as I could and really put it um, really like expand and maximize my potential on every opportunity I have. So.
And obviously, we've got the man that has certainly been at the center of
Oh, look at
your
that. Did you
history.
see that? I actually
Yes,
lifted Nikki Chooch up, and a lot of
you
people
left
don't
it
think
him.
just because of my size, I don't think people don't think I have the strength, but as you can see, I lifted Nikki Chooch up very easily, it seems, and I think that really took him by surprise as well.
I think he was definitely taken aback. And speaking of people that were also taken aback, was the man that has certainly been a best friend of yours for a very long time, Mr. Aaron Jones, and just
Yes.
the irony of all this, and just how about that savviness that 10 years is coming to handy because it looked like you were going down to be hit, but you you literally just did
He
otherwise.
he gave me an airplane spin, and I absolutely hate dealing with that type of move, and I think just the dizziness and just being exhausted overall because of the temperatures, me not expecting it to be so
Yeah, that's
warm.
really rare,
I
right
think that's
down
what got
there?
me.
And that's really rare down there to be that warm that late in the year. I mean, boy, I wish we
Yeah,
had that now. I mean, but at that point, I mean, you definitely
I'd
didn't
rather
want it.
take that than all the snow coming this weekend over
Oh
here.
my God. I'm like, you know what? I got to be honest. You know, I was in an interview. I was telling you before I had recorded with a band, which will be out next week, and a guy in France. And I said, you know, for the first time, I think I'm really pondering leaving New York because I am like so done with the winter. So, I mean, it may be a first. So who knows
Oh,
what the future may be? Well, you know, it may be time to go warmer. But listen, it obviously we wished for it, but Nikki's a tough competitor, as tough as they come, and you're certainly giving him. How about that? There, using some of your strength, there, using your body as a battering ram, and
yeah, I
that's what
mean,
leads us to that moment.
I had to think fast, and in pro wrestling, everything you do in that ring, you have to be prepared for any outcome, and you have to think fast and be prepared. And I thought quick and I thought fast, and it looks like it worked pretty well, I
Oh,
guess.
it worked out. Aaron Jones, boy, he's always at the center of things, and there's that moment. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's been quite a last 2 years for you. I mean, I remember there was a period of time you weren't wrestling, and you know, unfortunately, you get hit there. But I mean, you hadn't wrestled for a while. We didn't know your future. Then we were kind of, where were you going to wrestle again? Then we had the wedding, and you had your own struggles, and your return to DBW, and your famous battles with the likes of Silas Walker. I see a headline here, and you know, you really have had an up and down last 2 years, to put it kindly. So even though this isn't the way you wanted it after to celebrate, but I kind of think in a way this was a fitting way that you got the championship because of everything you went through the last 2 years to get to this moment.
Yeah, I can never have a truly up season, it seems like the last 2 or 3 years. I think, especially with this title reign, there has been a lot of like, especially for the reason why I left, there's been a lot of doubt in my abilities, and always seeing just that opportunity always fly away and uh disappear for me. It really I would say like made those thoughts a lot worse. Like as I said before, like I had a lot of self-doubt and in my wrestling ability, and always seeing all these championship opportunities be squandered away. Um, and finally winning that championship really kind of put those self-doubts to rest. It can show that I truly proved to be at the top of a company that isn't my home ground.
Right.
And hopefully hopefully this upcoming season is going to be a lot better than what I've had for the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm going to make it
Yeah,
way
I
better.
think since you lost the Hub City Championship in DBW,
I
and that
think that
goes back.
title's cursed. I think that title's cursed for me.
Well, I mean, that's the last championship you held. I was thinking about it before we went on the air. That was the last title you won, and you go back since the last 2 years, 2 plus years. That's kind of the predicament that you've been. You've never been really able to get back on track. You've had some starts, some stops. You've been away from the ring. You've come back in the ring. You've dealt with things, whether it was with the wedding and then you
Hmm.
went to other places. Certainly, you did have a match that gained, I think, a lot of attention with Maxwell Reeves, and you wrestled Aaron Blaze. You certainly had your battle with Silas Walker, but by and large, I mean, I think there was a lot more downs than up, and I hope that this will lead you to where you want. So I got to ask you then, in where does this rank in your career as big wins? Is this the biggest win of your career? I mean, I know that's a loaded question, but where does this rank in your career in terms of victories?
It definitely ranks at one of the highest. In many other ways, a lot of my career highs I've had are you can't really rank them in a category. They're all big in very different ways. And this also, my wedding is up there as well. And even winning the world championship from Mr. Judgment as well is
Yes.
one of the career highs. You can also put me beating Novin, being one of the
Yep.
few people that did that. Um, they're really high up for very different reasons.
Hmm.
And I could say that this championship win could be the highest in my career, but I could also say me winning the DBW World Championship was the highest moment.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. That's a
really
big moment. Absolutely.
you could pick a random day and it could be a different match. And but I this championship win is definitely way higher than any other career moment I had. Um
Yeah.
and I'm just excited.
No,
I'm very honored.
absolutely. Then you know what? We're very honored to have you back on here, and I want to give a little plug because we were playing some of the footage from VTW's latest show, and I would really appreciate if you're out there to hit the sub button for VTW because the guys have a lot of great content, and many of the VTW wrestlers have come on to Sportswire. So if you haven't yet, please go out there and hit the sub button for VTW, and you can watch that moment where Chase Wakefield had won the VTW YouTube Championship alongside the rest of the guys out there. So please do me a favor. Please support them. And also, VTW has a lot of content out there on social media. They have a lot of polls on their YouTube channel. So the guys do a great job. So please go out there and support them. We are with Chase Wakefield. And, you know, you mentioned that wedding, by the way, and I have
Yes.
talked a lot about it. And I mean, I got to put you on the spot. Another loaded question.
Yes.
I know the missus is probably out there kind of waiting for this to come up, but when are we ever going to see it?
That is a great question. And so I have all the footage and I have it in my editor, but I had looked back in a lot of the footage and there has been like a lot of I guess you could say technical difficulties with the actual
Oh,
videos
yeah.
themselves. Like for example, Andrew Lovelace, PB&J versus
Yes,
the
we
Wee
know that. We were
Boys.
here last month. Yep.
Turns out that whenever they were recording it, the I guess the iPhones have a like a bug where like
Oh.
if you film horizontally, the video actually doesn't turn and match up to the horizontal video.
Oh.
So it has taken me like months to research and figure out how I can actually fix this. And it's just one of those things where I might not be able to actually put it onto the actual show. So I might not even make it a full-on show and do kind of what the GPYWN did back in the day and did highlights
Clips.
and stuff.
Yeah, videos. Yeah.
But rest assured, it's definitely not in the back of my mind. There's just a lot of things that happen on not on the show itself,
Hmm.
just on the video and the production standpoint, and it
No, I mean,
really
look, and
taught me a
that's
lot.
understandable. Listen, I mean, I think people want to see that. Like I said, I had on Loveless and Hammer, and they were here, like, yeah, like a little over a month ago, and we were talking about it, but it's not out there. I mean, Van Hansen, when he was here, you know, right after you said, yeah, I was there and I was a part of it. And, you know, I'm sure there are other people in this chat that also were a part of it, but, you know, it's
Yes,
not out there. I mean, I can't talk about something that, you know, to me at least, and to a lot of people in the free world. After all, you are the leader of the free world and it doesn't exist in the free world at the in the moment.
I know it kills me every time because it's like I've been so excited to show everyone what this show had to offer. And it's just a lot of setbacks, especially with my personal life too. There was a lot of
Oh,
setbacks, so it was
you're
just
still
kind it's
married,
kind of
right? I want to make sure you're still
yes,
married.
yes. I'm still married. Um, it's just more of a balancing act right now when it comes to trying to get this fully out and everything else in my life. So
Not a
um,
lot, you know.
I'm
Listen,
I'm a I'm gonna try my hardest to get it out soon, but
no, no, Rob. I
I'm
mean, listen, it's your footage, it's your wedding. I mean, you know, it's your life. I mean, you know, if whether you put it out today or 10 years from now, it's your right, and you can do what you want. I think people were just curious, and we spent so much time last year talking about it, and
yeah.
obviously. When the time comes, I think we'll all be excited to watch that footage. And some companies take their time. I mean, that's just how it goes. People have life and responsibilities. It's all good, and there's no hard feelings.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it, and I hope at least like within a few months it will at least have some of the stuff out. Like I might just upload the matches just single. one upload at a time,
Yeah,
just
some
to do
companies
that.
do that. I've noticed over the years. Some
Yeah,
companies will put out like a few, like a match, and
yeah.
then you can watch it as a solo.
There's definitely one thing that I've been wanting to show everyone, and I can't until the wedding comes out, you know? So it's like I've been holding this one thing, and I guess I had to get on the ball on it.
No, no, no. Listen, no, listen. I mean, obviously, look, you are a busy man. You are the leader of the free world. Certainly means a lot of responsibility. Obviously, you have to deal with the economy. You have to deal
Hmm.
with what's going on in Greenland. You've got foreign policy. So I understand you got a lot on your plate. And, to release a wrestling show where you got married may not be the biggest priority. So totally understand. And, we're not blaming you for it. Obviously, look, life certainly has its curveballs. Let's see what this weekend brings us in this snow that they're all talking about. But I mean, look, understandable. And, whenever it comes out, I'm sure we'll be excited to see it.
And I can't wait to show everyone. And I'm I think overall, everyone killed it on that show, and there's a lot of surprises. Guys like Naeem, Bill Bain, they,
Bill Bain, since I see Bill Bain everywhere. Mon Valley, I see him there. And,
yeah,
WDWA. I mean, Bill Bain's everywhere.
Naeem just is currently in Rome right now, wrestling for Three Legacies on
Well,
their battalion.
you saw Jordan Oliver's overseas too.
Yeah, Jordan Oliver now AEW wrestler, which is very crazy because uh, knowing him and his backyard wrestling history and getting to meet him when he was CZW champion back in the day, it couldn't have happened to a better person. And he's shown me nothing but kind respectfulness, and I'm just very happy for him, and I'm very happy to see someone in our community really make it, you know.
Yeah, I always, it's funny. I had this conversation yesterday on the show. We were talking with Omen Black, who is obviously doing some training, and I was talking about guys that, have come from the backyard and the underground and have made that transition. And Jordan Oliver was one of the names that I had brought up, and I had talked about his, progress and his journey. And I first knew of him actually when he went overseas to Scotland, which was now about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's great to see, and I know you have, I'm sure, a lot of other things to talk about. Let's get to some people here in the chat. I want to get to them. I want to give you something. I want to talk about a place that you're supposed to be tomorrow, which I'm very excited about because we talked a lot about that last week on the show. So let's do that now. There are some people in the chat. Speaking of people that I hear, I got to give you an invite. I know you're busy, man. You're going to be in Baltimore tomorrow, but I should give you an invite. I know you're going to be busy, though, because you are married after all. But apparently, there's this guy, Justin Parsley, who, you famously threw out of the wedding. Now, I don't know what that footage will show up with, but Justin Parsley, he really makes his long-awaited return to Sportswire for the first time in almost 3 months, is coming back. He's celebrating his birthday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, and he has extended invites to people. And one of the people that has confirmed to participate and wish Mr. Parsley a happy birthday, the whole monitor of Sportswire Radio, is Johnny Velocity, and he's here first. I know you're a busy man, but Mr. Parsley will be celebrating his birthday on here tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and I'm sure he would love to see you despite your history with him, but I am extending an invite on his behalf to you, but I know you're busy with the misses and, Baltimore, but did want to send you an invite anyway.
It's very possible I could show up maybe, and I'll say kind of behind the scenes because we as you know, on camera, me and Justin Parsley aren't the greatest of friends, but I that's one person I really wish could have made it to the wedding. Um, Unfortunately, there was a lot of personal things that happened
Sure.
with a lot of other people that decided to not come on that day. Um, and he's definitely one guy I want to really get in the ring with in the future, whether it be IMF or elsewhere.
I have no
Where
idea what his in-ring future has been because he has not wrestled in a while now, so it's really unknown. I mean, that's a question I'm sure he's going to be peppered with tomorrow. What is his in-ring future? Because we really
maybe I'll
don't know.
ask him.
Oh, you ask? Okay, well, you are welcome to. I mean, I'm sure there are going to be people that Mr. Black himself actually said he's invited himself to talk to Mr. Parsley. I mean, there's obviously that angle of it. But yeah, I mean, it is a big question, I think, on a lot of people's minds is, is Justin Parsley returning to the ring, and where would he do that? Because it seems like at the moment his run on the IMF, it seems like it's come to an end. I don't want to put words in both parties' mouths, but he has not been advertised these last few shows there. So I don't know what his in-ring future is. I mean, and you're welcome to, ask that question to him. I'm sure he would enjoy hearing that from you rather than myself or anyone else.
I bet he would. He probably would want to hear a lot from me.
He actually would. He actually would, knowing Mr. Parsley. And we will see that it'll be 10 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you, Johnny. The lovely Marie is here. Big fan of yours. Obviously, very big fan. And has tuned in. Big fan. And for whatever reason, not a fan of mine, but I'm only kidding. No, she likes being here. We appreciate her being here. The lovely Marie. Thank you. I gave you some time. Speaking of people that we may see tomorrow, but we'll definitely see Sunday. Aaron Blaze, a man you've been in the ring with, is happy about you being here as we are. Speaking of people, I'm really excited to see you on here one of these days. A man that is also a part of a company that you're going to, Mr. Maxis Fatal. I mean, anything you want to say about Mr. Fatal? And maybe that's a name we'll see you on here one of these days.
I've had my history with that
Yes.
last name, the
Yeah.
Fatals.
Yep.
Of course, Damon Fatal,
Yep.
Maxis, and Cassius. Hell of a great worker Maxis is, and I haven't seen him in God, I think like a year. I think it's been. We had a
Yeah.
amplified EPW show for
I
Johnny
think that's 2
Walker.
years ago now, almost, right? Was it maybe a year and a half, right? Year and a half ago, something
It
like that,
might
right?
be. Time's just flying by. So it's been a long time, and I'm glad that he's around, and I'm glad he tuned in. I wasn't expecting him to actually show up and be on the chat, so it's pretty nice to see a welcome face like
Well, you're
Max's
Chase
Fatal.
Wakefield. People tune into you. I mean, you are Chase Wakefield, and people they see your name, they want to show up. So, listen, I think that you should be never surprised, and you have come a long way, and that's why you are the VTW YouTube champion. Speaking of people that they'll change their name, and I'll get to them in a minute, but the man that obviously was at the center of your
Ah,
championship when your best friend, that is the one and only Mr. Aaron Jones himself, and anything you want to say toward your best friend?
hopefully he's still here listening. I'm still waiting for my graphic, damn it.
Well, he's a busy man. He's a busy man. Listen, he's got his own
No,
stuff.
I mean, Aaron Jones, man, the things we've been through together for the past couple years, and him being one of my groomsmen for the wedding, um, I'm very happy and so glad to have a friend like Aaron. And it's funny. I always talk about moving down to North Carolina eventually, and it's just so I can hang out with everyone down there like Aaron.
Well, you know what? That's an interesting book. Listen, maybe North Carolina is better than the East Coast. I mean, it's not quite Florida, but it's not quite, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So maybe
Listen,
it's,
they have cookout. They have cookout there, so it's definitely a good reason why I should come and move down there. I love that place.
Well, you know what? If you like it, I like it. And right now, I mean, anything is better than what we're facing in the Northeast and elsewhere. So
Yeah.
we want to thank Aaron and we want to thank VTW for all the things they do out there. And that is the man, Mr. Colton Lee, a man you have some history with and who's also a part of NLW, is chimed in. And obviously, you kind of alluded to it, but that would be, I'm sure, some type of reference that you may be aware of. So I'll leave that at that for the great.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I did that.
yeah,
Once you get it, you know, you know. And if you like to hit the sub button for VTW, please do so. And VT Dub, VT Dub, VT Dub. And you meant to say Burfinator. Okay, well, close enough. That's okay. We'll give him a pass. But nevertheless, yeah, and Zilla, gotta give Zilla a big shout out. Thank you,
of
Zilla, for being
course,
here.
of
And
course.
also, if you need any help, Aaron Blaze would like to say, headline, if you need assistance editing, let me know. He's got you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We've talked about it in before about editing. And I might have to take him up for that in the future. At least so it can
Absolutely.
come out.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'll figure out that you're a busy man. Obviously, you're a leader of the free world, and you have a lot going on at home with the missus, and other people's problems. Now that you are the leader of the free world, so I understand completely. So we're all giving you a pass, and totally not your fault. And we'll when it comes and we get a chance to watch it, we'll all enjoy it. Yes, thank you, Zilla. Tell everybody else, and there you go. You fix stuff, and he could definitely help you out, like you just said. And speaking to people from TPW and elsewhere, EPW, AJ Harrison, who now wants to say VTW, interesting. Yes, a very interesting company. And who knows what that could lead to. And you have a hell of a nickname. Yeah, you are the leader of the free world. But that's not a nickname. That's truth. I mean, you are the leader of the free world.
Yeah, and I kind of would like to expand on the whole Leader of the Free World
Let's talk
character
about
here.
it. I'd love to
Um,
hear it.
of course, it's in the DBW backlog, but the Leader of the Free World is kind of a creation I came up with that has a lot of inspiration to a lot of different things, sort of like the best way is like The Purge. Another thing is like La Casa de Papel, which is Money Heist on Netflix. Um, there's a lot of inspirations too for the band President as well.
Yep.
Charlie Simpson and all them. I drew a lot of inspiration from them and their look. And if people have seen Kalina's photos of the last DVW event, then they kind of get the idea of what the leader of Free World is. And he's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's there just to uh, give to garner the attention and the respect of the people and lead them into the free world.
Well, eventually, I would imagine we'll see that footage. And some of the things you said, I think, to the free world is kind of foreign, but I would imagine one day we'll see that footage and it'll kind of make sense. And you mentioned Kalina, she's done a great job. I've seen her take footage in places like for Battlefield Pro Wrestling. And
Yeah,
I think I've seen her do some stuff with 814 and,
she
some of the
did
other.
amazing. She did an amazing job for the wedding, and
Yep.
she's definitely I think one of the best photographers right
Yeah,
now
I
in the
see her
game.
a lot with like I said, Battlefield. Like I've seen her with 814. I mean, I've seen her with names that have been here in the past. Godric Sanwell and
Hmm.
D Savage. And we talked a lot about him yesterday. So yeah, she's one of the very best. I mean, to have had her and to have had that footage you spoke about in DBW, but like I said, it's footage that we haven't seen in the free world. So until it comes out, we can't really talk about it that much, but I'm sure when it comes out, it'll make sense as to why you are the leader of the free world.
Yeah, and definitely. And there's a lot of things that need to come out to the free world, but unfortunately, I timing is not of the essence, I guess.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I had gone on. Who said it on here that time is the most valuable? It was Gus G had talked about that. Who was on here talked about time, and he had talked. He went on a. He talked about for a few minutes on Sportswire the importance of time, and you can't get it back. You've got to use it. So yeah, that's a great point. But I'm sure when that comes, and we'll talk a lot about. We had Ace Christian on here, obviously, who I talked a little bit about DBW briefly. Colton Lee was on here. We spoke a lot about DBW, what's out there. Brandon Costelli, a man
yeah,
obviously he will be on here very soon to talk about the future of DBW and such. And until then, stay tuned. And also wants to say, wishing you the best and much success. Absolutely.
thank you, thank you.
And got a big hug waiting for you. It's very nice. And also, and you'll get your graphic. There you go. And speaking of Godric Sanwell, I had to bring it up. Salutations to all this evening. That championship looks good on the shoulder there, old friend. And that is
Thank you, thank you.
the gentleman of exquisite caliber, Godric Sanwell, who has always been a topic here in sports, where he's got his own issues right now with Daniel Tafu, amongst others, and he's been a big part of things in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling. And I had asked Godric Sanwell and I'd asked Ace Christian about each other, and there is Mr. Sanwell, and who knows, maybe you'll meet him one day.
He's definitely one guy I really want to meet. I was actually in the process of working on coming to Mon Valley eventually at some point. We'll see if the timing is right, and we'll see if all the pieces fall together, and maybe me and Godric could actually meet up soon.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people, that's a company that, we've talked a lot about recently. We talked about that with Ace Christian and Dave Jameson now holds tag team championship gold there with Tyler Grayson. We had the Banana Man, Lestat. I mean, we've had a lot of courses. Obviously, Loveless and Hammer are a part of Mon Valley. So, I mean, it would make a lot of sense that, probably like a quarter of your wedding was probably in some form or another in Mon Valley. So, I mean, yeah, I would love to see you there. I would love to see you there. And Mr. Sandwell is a part of that company. And but just my advice would be avoid RK Sawyer.
Definitely, I will take that advice strongly.
All right, good enough. And obviously, my friend Anastasia Resenia is a big fan of yours, big fan of yours, and she's in the West Coast of California, and maybe she could give us some of the warm weather here, which I'd really hope that would be something she could do. But nevertheless, she's a big fan of yours, and thank you, Anastasia. And we'll get to some more comments before we get further distracted. Chase Wakefield is in the East Coast. Yes, he is in the state of Pennsylvania, and he wrestled Maxwell Reeves, and we had spoke about that with Mr. Harrison. And here is Mr. Lee. I wish I could be going down to Baltimore for the show tomorrow, but being busy kind of put a stop to being there tomorrow. Yeah, there is life. There is that gets in the way, and I'll talk about Baltimore in a few minutes. And leader of the free world always needs some bodyguard. Right now, is that something maybe you've spoken with Mr. Lee on?
It's definitely I haven't really got too close to Mr. Lee.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
he's a
kind of
big
an
guy.
intimidating guy. The last time we actually had a true conversation was at the wedding, and
Oh,
so it's something that I have thought of because just based on the sheer weight alone, it can help me out. So maybe it will come in the future. Maybe we should have the Heartless Sheriff as kind of a Secret Service type
hey.
bodyguard for Chase Wakefield.
I was watching a video. It was on X, and it was like Taylor Swift had her own security guard, and the guy was literally like right there, and while
Yeah,
somebody
he's
was talking
massive.
to her. Yeah, so you might need a guy like Colton Lee, the Heartless Sheriff. That's exactly what a Secret Service person might be. I mean, and it's been five. Oh, is it crazy? It's been almost 5 months since that wedding.
Oh, man, like I said, time flies by really fast, and I still remember every day, and it's one of the best days of my life, I'd say.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I would not. I would not blame you whatsoever. And congratulations. And we look forward to 5 months turning into 5 years and 50 years. And we'll get to some more comments. As obviously my friend Maria is out there. Thank you for being here. Big shout out. And hello. Yes, to Godric Sandwell and Colton Lee. And here it is. Perhaps leaders to a more gentle world might be something. Yeah, it's a great thought, but I'm not sure if we'll see a gentle world. I mean, that's Mother Nature is not going to be gentle this weekend. I hear,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna be stuck in.
Yeah, I'm in New York City, and people are freaking out like we haven't had snow ever before. It's kind of funny because in the city these last few winters we've kind of been spared, but this winter has been like I said, this winter is maybe for the first time reevaluate. Maybe it's time to go somewhere warmer, and it's an interesting conversation to be had. But let's get to some more comments. Hello, hello, and should the stars align, we will indeed. I also do travel. Should that be easier? Mr. Sandwell does live in your state, but he's even traveled to Tennessee. You've done your own traveling in the past, and he'll be back on here. By the way, I do want to give you an early invite notification on his birthday, which Mr. Sandwell's
Oh,
birthday is. Yeah, it's 3 weeks from today. So 3 weeks from today is the
it's
gentleman who was.
everybody's birthday.
Well, you know what? It's funny. One of my friends, Jonathan Pinkasoff, his birthday is a happy birthday. Heshi Tischler's birthday is next
Oh,
Thursday.
Heshi.
Heshi Tischler's birthday is next Thursday. You may be seeing him tomorrow. He doesn't know that yet, but you may see him. Mr. Sandwell's birthday is 3 weeks from today, and we're gonna obviously be celebrating his birthday. He'll be talking about some different things. So a lot of birthdays have been here on Sportswire, and he is one of them that we're gonna be celebrating. Mr. Parsley's birthday. I mean, that's gonna certainly draw, I am sure, quite a crowd for that tomorrow. And who knows what happens there. But yes, 3 weeks from now, Mr. Samuel's birthday, and should the stars align, he does travel. So we'll get to some more comments because the comments are traveling. Mr. Wakefield, this is the continuation of the year of the Don. He is the Don of combat. I can make the time on my busy schedule for us to have a chat if you're open to it. I mean, you know.
That'd be kind of interesting. Everyone knows my my socials, so
I can
Maybe
put
just
those
pop
up
a
right now for
message.
you. I'm glad you did that because I actually, before I got the NLW poster up, I do have your Instagram feed because I know Marie is definitely dying to follow you, not me. But nevertheless, that's okay. Hit that follow button for Chase Wakefield on Instagram. You got to give him some more followers. We got to get him at least 273 followers. Let's get him to 275 followers. You're out there, Anastasia Rasinia. You're out there, Zilla. Whoever else is out there that hasn't followed Jade May, the former WVWF Women's Champion. Go out there and follow Chase Wakefield. I have no idea why anybody hasn't yet followed him. If I could give you all my followers, I would. But in the meantime, please follow Chase Wakefield. Follow what he's up to, and you can see why he is the leader of the free world. And I'm sure that we'll have some more comments. So let's come right back to them. And yes, follow Chase Wakefield. We'll put up his Instagram page. We'll do that shortly. And yes, he's in Pennsylvania. There is the former WVWF Women's Champion Jade May, and she was a big topic here in the summer, and maybe she's inching closer to her return to the ring. I'd like to see that. We talked about that yesterday. There is Mr. Wakefield's Instagram page, and I want to talk about what's next on the horizon, but I got to give you something. I always got to give you something because obviously
Okay.
you graced your presence here. Big crowd tonight. Certainly following off what happened yesterday, where we had the Omen Black's long-awaited return to Sportswire. He hadn't spoke since he lost the undisputed championship here from Winter Clash, and we saw what happened with Il Drago and this guy Tone DeBoss, and I got to give you something. So let me share my screen, especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform, like I said, where all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters here. Sportswire Radio. It will now be, well, now it's going to load up here. Boy, the drum roll didn't work in this case. Well, now it's going to work. Now we're going to redo it for those that are listening and watching in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. It is now officially Chase Wakefield Day. There you go. I was
Oh,
waiting
there we
for it, and
go.
unfortunately, my screen didn't work. Yeah, Chase Wakefield Day. Yeah,
I
you gotta have it. You
finally
gotta
get a
have it. I mean,
day. I finally get a day.
well, you know what? It is your day. And, as my uncle used to say famously, every dog has its day, Ace. Every dog has its day. But you have your day. You are the VTW YouTube champion, and it is most certainly yours. And we will send you this when we are off the air. And congratulations. And I have no doubt you will do a lot of great things. So we'll take this off the screen. We got to formally write. We'll put your YouTube link up in a minute. But I have to talk about what's at stake and what's coming up here very soon. And that is in the great state of Maryland, the great state of Baltimore, the city. Maryland's the state. You were supposed to be. I'm not sure what exactly we can say or not say on here, but let's talk about the next place we will eventually see you in the ring, and that is in NLW, and a man that is no stranger to this platform, one Jacob Cassidy.
Well, first, Jacob Cassidy is a phenomenal wrestler.
Yes.
He's had been on a meteoric rise, and from what I've heard, on a superstar level rise in out there in Baltimore.
Yep.
And it was something that I was really excited for. But if you guys can't tell from my voice and a lot of things, I am currently sick, and just because of the snowstorm coming and all that, I don't want to risk getting people sick. So unfortunately, I cannot make it to this specific show, but I have talked with the management team, and I will be heading there on the next show coming up, which is, I
Oh, well,
believe, in February.
all right. Well, I mean, look, it's not a full loss, but I mean, I'm a little disappointed because we're really excited about this match, and that was the reason we had brought you back onto Sports. In addition to certainly winning the VTW YouTube Championship, I do not want to take the significance of that away. That is a huge accomplishment, and congratulations, for sure. But it's definitely a little bit of a bump in the road that we don't
Yes.
get a chance to see you coming up tomorrow, and obviously understandable with health reasons, and but it is what
Th-
it is.
This the setup that they have going on down there is a great setup, and it's been something I've been trying to go to for a while now, and timing has been always not on the right side. And when I finally had that opportunity to get down there for tomorrow, it would be tomorrow now.
Yeah.
It it just unfortunately Mother Nature hates me, I guess, and my body hated me at this particular time. And rest assured, I will be at NLW in the future, and I can't wait to meet a lot of the people that I haven't met there before, and really kill it. And hopefully, it will be against Jacob Cassidy. It might be against someone else, who knows? But I guess we gotta stay tuned and find out what will happen.
Yeah, and please hit the sub button for NLW. We spoke a lot about NLW last week with the infamous Montana on there. We knew that the infamous Montana at one point had 3 championship belts, and one of those was the NLW championship, which is now held by Colin Graves. And, certainly a lot of names that not only you're familiar with, we're familiar with here on Sportswire. Obviously, Mr. Fatal, but the likes of Austin James, the likes of Roland Havoc, the likes of Robert Pearson, I'm sure is a name that's come up on here. Colton Lee has been a part of NLW, Mr. Montana himself. So there's a lot of crossover in NLW of people that you've worked with. So to me, I think it's a natural progression that we would see you in NLW. We wished it would have been this past weekend, but it's going to be hopefully in February.
Yeah, I'm definitely aiming for February, and my goal for this year too is just to go to a lot of new places, and NLW is the first one to come.
Yeah, and I think it's a great company. I mean, it's got a lot of names that we've talked about here. Obviously, infamous Montana made his long way to return to Sportswire for the first time in nearly 2 years on here. Max's Fatal was a name we spoke a bit about during last week's show. Certainly, Roland Havoc, Colin Graves. I mean, a guy who's done a lot this year, has really had a big, big singles run. You talked about Jacob Cassidy, and I agree with you since the last year and a half and the training that he got from the guys in Enterprise and Amplify. Look at where he's gone. I mean, Colton Lee. I mean, there's just so many crossovers. Austin James goes without saying. So I think that's a company that I really would like to see you in, and I think a lot of other people pay attention to.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and it's a bunch of people I can mesh well with, and really put on some bangers for matches. And I'm just excited to see what NLW has in store for me, and I'm excited for the future.
Are there any other names that you would like to see in NLW that you would want to wrestle? Obviously, when the
Hmm.
time presents itself.
I mean, Godric would be a great choice, I'd say.
I would love to see Godric at NLW, but obviously, he's his schedule's full. I mean, but
I mean, a lot of people that are in kind of the bubble, the Sportswire bubble, like from the WBWF and Mon Valley, a lot of those guys would be great additions to NLW, and
yeah,
I would love
absolutely.
to
I,
see
I I think the
going.
Mon Valley guys, one name that has been a big topic on here, which I'm sure you saw last week that was on was Day Jameson. Now that's a name that I mean, man's got 4 championships. What a presence that he would bring to NLW. I mean, Ace Christian was talking plenty of him, but could you imagine Day Jameson in NLW?
Yeah, Dave Jameson is a hell of a talent, and he definitely the last year wrestled guys like one of my friends like KJ Orso.
Yep.
He definitely he kind of reminds me a lot of Ace, really starting young, and he's definitely capitalizing and really getting all of his opportunities together and really making a name for himself. And I'm very excited to see where he's going to end up this year.
Yeah, I think that we were talking a lot about. We see the similarities there with Ace Christian and Day Jameson, and what could you imagine that match taking place in NLW? That would be, quite a feat. But yeah, there's a lot of names from WDW. We had a guy Dean Mosley. I think Dean Mosley would be a really interesting name in NLW. He's a name that's come up and he's wrestled different places. In fact, we have a guy coming on here Monday that I think a lot of people probably know. You mentioned Mon Valley. That's DB Rivera. DB Rivera is coming on. He's a big time guy. He's coming on here Monday night. I mean, I would love to see him, but yeah, I think it's exciting to see you in a company like NLW eventually. And I mean, any other goals you have in 2026 aside from maybe getting better?
Um, Definitely there is one goal, and it's more or less I took my experiences from running the wrestling wedding, um, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Like the
Sure.
aspect of booking the show and really putting it together production wise. And I've always thought about if I was done with in-ring competition, um, and what I would do in the wrestling world after, and it would be being a owner of a new company.
Mm.
And I think this year, fall and then coming into next year, I think really will set up plans and get something going to have a new face in the wrestling company scene, you know. Really take a lot of guys that I know, a lot of the people that I've met throughout this wrestling business, and make something special for around this area.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I mean, obviously, with your expertise, your knowledge, and what you bring to the table to this sport, I mean, why not you? I mean, we've seen the success that Gabe Sayers has had with the TF crew. We've seen the success in Mon Valley, how Mon Valley is kind of coming in vogue the last year or so. I mean, certainly goes without saying, and seeing IMF success there, and I mean, certainly NLW now with their success. And I think to me would be a natural thing to see you if that's something you want to do in running your own company. And if you have a chance, do me a favor on Chase Wakefield Day, hit the sub button for him because we eventually expect to see some content uploaded there. And he's definitely pulling through like a true champ that he is. And he is the VTW YouTube champion. And we know he's under the weather, so we're not going to keep him here much longer. But if you are out here, hit the sub button for him on YouTube and support some of the things he's up to. You'll see him a part of VTW here. He was a part of their most recent show, Christmas Chaos, where he won the VTW YouTube Championship. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voiced figuratively and literally all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters here. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, please hit the sub button for us. And we are here with Chase. We hope he feels better. I know you're a busy man, and I know we would like to say a lot more about NLW with you, but for now, we have to table that. I would hope that when you get better and the weather hopefully warms up here next month, we can talk plenty about you and NLW. But before we get to closing thoughts, is there anything else you may want to talk about here tonight that we haven't got a chance to touch upon?
No, I think overall I think we covered everything, I'd say. There hasn't been a whole lot going on at the end of the year. I mean, I for example, I just won well, it's not official yet, but from what the polls look like, I am the VTW Rising Star of 2025.
And listen, we saw the year before, right? Ace Christian was one of those rising stars. And, you look at where he was, and you could maybe say, well, what about Chase Wakefield? Maybe Chase Wakefield, you could see the same thing in his success. And I think now you see what he's brought to the table. And that's why you've got a big lead. And I want to share that poll for people. So if you have a chance, you can still vote. There's still an opportunity to do so. So do me a favor, go out and vote. There's the poll, and Chase has got a lead. He is the leader of the
It's
free world.
half the votes, you know,
Listen,
like
majority rules, and at this point, we don't have to worry about the election being stolen. We don't have to worry about votes being counted afterwards. I mean, Chase Wakefield's got the lead. So if you're out there, you haven't yet got a chance. All you have to do is go to the VTW YouTube channel and ensure Chase Wakefield of getting elected here and winning this vote. And maybe it's a sign of votes ahead and other things. And all you have to do is go right there and hit that sub button and ensure that Chase Wakefield becomes the rising star of the year because he's got a big lead right now. And let's make it happen for him. So we've got some votes in our pocket. We've got some people here on the stream. If you haven't yet voted, you don't even have to sub to VTW. Just go out there and vote, and maybe Chase Wakefield will throw a victory party. When I really was in politics, one of the things that we used to look forward to sometimes was victory parties. I never forget when I did some campaign work for former state senator Marty Golden here, and he used to throw these lavish, not lavish today's terms, but he would throw victory parties. You always look forward to the victory parties. Now, and they don't mean nothing, but maybe Chase Wakefield, he is the leader of the free world. He'll use, my money to throw a victory party. But yeah, go out there and hit the follow button and follow. Yeah. And your graphic is in your DM. So obviously that's what it
oh,
is about being the leader in the free world because you made your best friend feel bad, and now he just gave you a graphic. So
Listen,
maybe we'll
I
get him back
can't.
on Sports
Sometimes
Matters.
you gotta whip the leash on them a few times,
Your
But
words, you're the leader of the free world. I don't think we could get away with that here at Sportswire. We've had a lot of big names on here, and we want to keep the gravy train going. We're
yes,
gonna we're gonna let Mr. Parsley know that tomorrow. He's gonna be on his best behavior because we have more names coming on. We don't want them to change their mind. Mr. Harrison will get back to you after the show, and if you want to follow Chase, few ways you can do it: YouTube, Chase Wakefield, pro wrestler. Hit the sub button for him. Instagram, follow him there. That's where you can find out more about it. I know Marie's going to do that. I know Anastasia Rossinia is going to do that. Ozilla's going to do that. Everybody else is out there. Jade May is going to do it. All the people who haven't filed, and I hope you continue to do that. And also, it would be a shame if I whipped you.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Well, he can
I
say
gotta
that
see
he's your
him in
best
a few
friend.
months.
Well,
I
you
gotta
are
see
going to
him.
definitely see him. You're the VTW YouTube champion. I hope for your sake, it's going to be for quite a while. We'll have to find out. I know the lovely Marie is going to certainly be watching. And like I said, please, everybody else join me. I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to pass the baton to you. I'm going to give you some closing thoughts. I hope you feel better. I have no doubt that you will eventually recover, and we'll see you back out there in NLW. We'll see that footage in DBW one of these days. But until then, on your day, I want to pass the baton to you and give you some closing thoughts and fire away.
Basically, the only closing thoughts I could have is stay tuned for what this year has to offer when it comes to DBW, VTW, and elsewhere. May it be NLW, it could be IMF, could be WVWF, could be
I
Mon
would love
Valley.
to see you in WVWF. I mean, we talk about them. We got, I think, 3 spots next week with them. We got DB Rivera, cease and desist. I mean, Hype Man Dan Lasers, Mon Valley right there. And we know what they've done. I mean, we've got Maverick, Cody Maverick, the King of the Mountain champion. Daniel Tafura's back on. He's the hybrid champion. We've got a slew of spots with the WVWF. I mean, that's almost like they're one of our second companies to talk with outside of IMF.
Yeah, they're definitely a bunch of guys on my radar that I would love to get in the ring with. Time will only tell. The year is very young still,
Yes,
so
very
who
young.
knows what will happen.
Oh. Which
But
scares me, by the
nevertheless,
way. It's very early in the year because, like, this month has just dragged on for me
yeah.
so slowly.
I mean, it's nice in one way because I don't have to pay my bills, but
Oh, well, lucky you. I mean, lucky you.
but
Unfortunately for me, the sponsorships, the bills, but it's okay. We can afford it, but the bills keep coming in. The sponsorships. Unfortunately, I was a sponsor for an event here on Staten Island that my mom actually is a part of with the band, and they canceled the event. I was kind of bummed, but they'll have it back in, later on in warmer weather. But, that's how it goes. But listen, I'm glad you're not having any responsibilities at the moment, but we have responsibilities. But those responsibilities are certainly sponsoring the likes of Chase Wakefield and supporting him. So please join me and following him on Instagram, YouTube, and certainly checking him out in his endeavors as the VTW YouTube champion. I'd also encourage you to please follow them on all their social media platforms. Vote on the poll that Chase Wakefield is ahead in by a comfortable margin, but you never know. Listen, you never know what could happen here afterwards. So we take nothing for granted. We want to make sure Chase Wakefield wins that vote so we can have that victory party. And my friend, hope you feel better. I look forward to seeing you here in NLW. I know the infamous Montana returns here next month, and you'll be a topic. Hopefully by then, you'll have been in NLW, but we'll see what the future may bring. And congratulations on winning that YouTube championship. Long overdue, and the best is certainly yet to come. And thank you for all you do, and we'll see you soon.
see you soon.
That is Chase Wakefield. He is now the leader of the free world, and he is your VTW YouTube champion. And he will be in action for VTW later this year, also in DBW. And you'll see him in a part of NLW's plans here very, very soon. But my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music, all sports, and all wrestling matters here. If you're on Sportswire Radio, like, share, and subscribe. We will be back on here in a little while to be announced. We may have a segment. So I would say hang on tight. And we'll also be on here tomorrow night. I know you're a little under the weather, but Justin Parsley is here for his birthday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So all are welcomed. And Mr. Parsley already has some names that will be on here wishing him a happy birthday, whether he likes it or not, especially in one name, Omen Black. But hey, that's how it goes. But until then, thank you, everybody. Thank you to the lovely Marie out there. Anastasia Resenia, a big fan of yours, obviously chimed in. But until then, I'll be back here in a little while. And thank you. And please be safe out there. If you're going out there on the roads, please be very safe. And I'll see you in a little while.